How do you endure after betrayal trauma? First of all, I'm so sorry you're going through this. And the word endure really stuck out to me because, man, does it take endurance. What you are going through is so traumatic. You are experiencing PTSD and you are grieving a loss that no one around you sees, feels, or hears. It's like being at a funeral and there's no coffin, there's no flowers, there's no one there to mourn what you've lost. In fact, people usually don't grieve with you. They lack empathy because they are choosing to answer your pain through their own history book. And that's not what you need right now. Should you stay or should you go? Get therapy, because your therapy is just as important as his. You're going to have a long healing road ahead of you. Even if you start a whole new relationship, even if you choose to remain single, that trauma will go with you ahead of time if you don't work on it now. And it will affect your physical, your mental, your spiritual self. So your therapy is just as important. Prioritizing your healing is number 1. 2, and it's unfortunate because you didn't ask for this, you don't deserve it, but you're going to have to grieve through this process, just like you would a death. Grieving is really key. Again, it's not easy. I grieved for at least 2.5 years. They say that most women grieve at least 3. There are still times that things pop up in my mind and I grieve 3 years later. It is hard, but there is hope on the other side as long as both parties are willing to do the work. One of my therapists said that to my husband, David, your healing is so important because you healing is going to help Eileen heal. And she said to me, your healing is very dependent on him healing. And that really stuck with me because, man, is that true. She wanted me to focus on things I wanted out of my marriage, not tolerating little things that I had allowed to be tolerated before. And these could be something as small as, him talking to other women, friendships at work. And I was like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. But if it triggers you, if you think in your mind, man, that would actually really upset me, then it should be a boundary. You get to deem what is acceptable and unacceptable in your relationship. One of the other things I want to add is that your husband is seeking to be intimate with you, but he doesn't know how to get there. He doesn't know how to get to the end of that road because he has to go and do inner work on himself. He's actually probably experiencing pain and endurance in this as well if he loves you and he's trying to get to that point with you. He is trying to figure out intimacy with you, or just intimacy in his life, but he doesn't know how to get there because corn has been his therapy for a long time in dealing with his pain. And if he doesn't learn how to deal with his inner pain, it's going to be really hard for him to reach that point. Porn for a lot of these men is their best friend. It's been their best friend for a really long time because it's helped them cope and get through the hard times. But the porn is destroying intimacy with you. It's destroying their lives and it's destroying their marriage. In a lot of ways, he's enduring and he's in pain. And so by being patient with your healing and being patient with his journey, as long as he's willing to do the work, there's hope on the other side. And our marriage is so much better than it's ever been before. And there's so many other people I've talked to in marriage counseling who endured a lot of pain and trauma in their marriage, and they have reached the other side and their marriage is stronger than it ever was before.